everyone, welcome back to another episode of Green Life Garden and Home DIY channel. It's your girl Ro, aka Mommy Green Life, and today I am coming to you with lemons. I am about to preserve these lemons that were given to me from my sister. She know a lady that has oh my gosh, just tons of lemons that you could come and get at any given time. This just so happened to be what she had on hand when I visited the other day, and she was more than happy to give them to me because you know I love preserving. So what I'm going to do to preserve these, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to freeze some for number one, because it's not a whole lot to really get into trying to can the juice. As a matter of fact, if you want to see how to can lemon juice, you could go over to Let Farmer 73. I believe he just did a video on that. But this video, I would like to show you how to go about using the freeze method for storage, and also my favorite one is a fermenting process. I love fermented foods. Anybody that know me know that I absolutely love fermented foods because of all of the nutrition that it gives you. And it's actually a way of getting in my probiotics without having to go to the store and purchase these off the shelves, and only God knows what, maybe you know. Anyway, so I'll be canning these using a process called lacto fermentation. What you do is I use sea salts, or you could use your canning salt and pack them all down in there. And because of the salt, you know, there's nothing that's going to grow in there if you do it correctly. We know that back in the day they can't and process even meat with salt. I'll first show you how to do the lacto fermentation method, because I wanted to do a small jar, nothing too big. You don't have to use your ball jars for this. Just go ahead and grab you something that's laying around that you're not using, and this is going to be it for me today. There are so many ways you could store. You could use sugar instead of salt. I mean, I prefer the salt, and I'll go into some more details as we move along. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get them washed and scrubbed with my loofah. I did let you guys know, I think on my last video, that I do grow these, and that is what I'm going to be washing them and just trying to remove any debris, anything, dirt, whatever that may be there. They seem pretty clean, and I know they hadn't been sprayed or anything like that, so that's all the better. So these are truly organic lemons. I don't have to worry about the rind, that is the part that you are really looking for whenever your lemons are all scrubbed and washed. Look how big these things are, y'all. You could even see the lines down them that's separating the different slices of lemon. Good gracious, that is like a grapefruit in my hand almost. And there are some that's pretty small, which are the ones that I'm going to be using to pack into my jar. Okay. Alright, so let me get them dried and I'll get started. So we've got our lemons all washed and ready to go. I have gotten my salt here. I'm going to be using the canning pickling salt, and you could use Himalayan, you could use the Celtic, as I said before. I would prefer, you know, those because they have so many minerals in them. All right, and I save the brine once I've used all of these and everything. I don't throw anything away. You could take that brine and put it in your rice. You could put it in your on your fish, on anything. I mean, if you're making sauces of some sort, I love to make crab sauce and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to cut these to go into this jar, and just what you need to do to go ahead and preserve your lemons. Alright, these lemons, I'm going to try to use the smaller ones to go in the jar, but I've got some here you can see are the size of an orange. But anyway, I'm going to use the smaller ones, and what you'll do is you'll cut here, cut that end off, okay? Could you see me? And yes. You will cut this end off, okay? And then you're going to cut them into quarters, but you're not going to cut quite all the way through. You're going to stop right before you get down there to the very bottom. And after I cut that in half, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to cut this in half. And you could leave the seeds intact, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and take my salt and I'm going to put some right there, pack it in the middle. Got your bowl up under it to catch the excess. And then we're going to stick it in our jar. Okay. And we're going to get as many lemons in there as we can. Doing the same steps, all right? That is cutting this in. Cutting this in. Cutting almost to the bottom. Almost to the bottom till we got 4. Okay? And then we're going to take our little bowl here to hold it over that. We're going to put salt in it. Okay. Then we're going to stick it here. For this, I don't waste a mason jar because you could use anything. Like I said, this is a fermenting type of preservation. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get as many as I can in there doing that. And once I'm done, I'm going to show you how to press them down. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take my grinding stone and I'm going to press down in there. If you have a wooden one, you can. These are very juicy lemons, so it's not going to take much to fill this thing here with the juices. Anytime you're fermenting something, you always want them to be, whatever it is, to be covered in its juices. If I was using a different type of lemon, it probably wouldn't be this much juice as quick. And so as long as everything is submerged up under that, you're good. And so I'm going to maybe be able to get another one in here. But these are set for about 30 days or for however long. And you could put them in your refrigerator if you like, or leave them out and let them continue to ferment. They will continue fermenting inside the refrigerator as well. It would just slow the fermentation process down. So I may be able to get one more here. I've got way more juice than I need already rising to the top. And yeah, you could take these once they are done and take the flesh out of them. And you'll be able to use the rind. And you could dice that up. Julienne them. Whatever you want to do with these. Save these. Put them in the freezer. You could use those if you're making bone broths or anything that calls for a lemon flavor. These are so juicy. Oh my gosh, I could probably just go through and squeeze the juice out. But save them if you want to dry them out, even on your dehydrator. You could do that. All right. So I've gotten them this packed as tight as I can because you want to leave some head space whenever you're fermenting anything, because of the fermentation process. At some point it's going to begin to bubble and fizz, and you'll know it's actually fermenting at that time, and it'll start to release gases, and sometimes you'll have to burp to burp it. And what I mean by that is loosen your top if it's a screw top, or just kind of open this and just close it right back, and that would release some of the gases. And what I'm going to do is just top this off with salt. Like I said, people use sugar as well. And when you get ready to use these, you just simply rinse off the lemon, peel out the flesh, and just dice up the rind or the lemon peel, however you choose to use it. And that's it. Okay, so I've got it sitting in a bowl because when the fermentation process starts, like I said, at some point it will begin to release gases. This is going to bubble up. More juice will probably be extracted from the lemon, and it's going to come out. And so if you want to save yourself a mess on your countertop, just set this down in a bowl of some sort that could catch it. Okay, my next method, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and save my peel, because I could use that for lemon zest to make lemon extract or whatever it is I want to use that for. So I just use this little peeler And all right, so I finished up getting all of my skin off as best I could. I've got a bowl here with all of those. I'm going to dry those, dehydrate them, and that way I'll have some lemon zest when I need it as well. And then from this point, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my lemons into slices. Now, this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take a piece of wax paper. And I'm going to just lay it across here. And I'm going to stack it. I'm going to put a layer of lemons. I'm going to stack, lay another sheet of wax paper across. And I'm going to put another layer of lemons. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and freeze them. Once they're frozen, I can take them and put them into Ziploc bags without them sticking together. Okay? So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Alright, so with the lemons, we'll use our knife. You just take and slice them however big you want them to be. These things are so doggone
sweet,
juicy. And once you get them sliced, I'll bring them over. You're gonna lay them. You're gonna lay them on your sheet. They're gonna dry. They're gonna freeze like this, and then you'll be able to take them from this point once they're frozen and put them in your Ziploc bags. Let me go ahead and finish getting everything cut up, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so we've got a layer down, and what I'm going to do now is put another sheet of wax paper on top of that. Right here, just regular wax paper. I got it. And you could dry these in single layers if you have trays or something like that. But I'm just laying that on top, and then I'm going to come on back over that with more lemons. Try to cut them the same size if you can. Try not to let them touch so that they won't freeze together.
Then we'll have a big freeze plop of lemons coming out.
Yeah.
Instead of just one lemon coming out.
And I'd rather these be done like this too. They're so juicy, and they'll be so much easier to access and use for whatever we're using them for, lemonade or whatever. Because once they thaw out, oh my goodness, I'm sure that they're gonna still be just as good if you get them put away right. You know, so they don't freeze or burn, or just doubt if they would pick up the flavors of anything else that is in your freezer. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this finished up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so my lemons are done freezing. They are solid all the way through, all of them. All I'm going to do now is put them in my Ziploc bag. Try to get quality Ziploc bags if you can when you're storing your food, because I believe that it does help keep things from getting icicles so quick, and the taste mingling and all of that. So I've got them in layers like I showed you, and again, they're all solid. So what I'm going to do is put them in my bag, and of course I'm going to be storing them up for later use. And that is it. Let me go ahead and start doing that right now. Hold on just a second. This is something that did not take long. Very easy. There's no real reason for me to try to put them in separate bags. And there I have lemons that I could use for lemonade, tea, and a whole host of other things. I've still got my peels over here drying out, and I've got my lemons fermenting in the back in the glass there. So yeah, they smell so good and lemony, of course. Get that over here out your way. All right, so this is a ½ gallon size bag that I'm using. It may hold them all. I've got another roll cold on my fingers.
Alright guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Alright, so yeah, we are pretty much done with this project. We'll be moving on to the next, this canning session or food preservation session, that is. Any other lemons I get, I'm sure I'll be doing something else. I won't be freezing them all. This is just something to give me quick access. So I gotta take some out, and I'm gonna have to put some in a different bag so that I can get this all sealed. So we are done putting away our lemons. They are in the bag. They are separate. They're not stuck together or anything like that. These are some that could not fit in the half-gallon Ziploc, and I will take these out as I need them. I could get juice from them. I could, you know, as I said before, just do whatever I want to do with them. But that is your way to preserve lemons by freezing them. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something in this video, and
we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next video.
One love.
One love.